And for all of our chips, we can put them away. We don't actually want to continue eating chips right now. No, Dustin, no chips for you. I'm buying one. No chips for Dustin. Even though he's just so cute. Okay. Paranormasight. And let's get stream avatars going. Wait, Eric, I forgot to tell you. I uploaded the VODs to YouTube today, right? And Mom looked at them, and she was like, "What are these little guys that are running around on your screen?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I can try to take them off, but I don't think I can." And she was like, "No, I want one." So.
Like, why is that one punching the other?
They're cute. They are.
They
They're very cute. They're very cute. I like them a lot. Right.
The one that starts with the T is mine.
Yeah, I figured.
I forgot to edit this stuff. I'm gonna turn everything off real quick. Add a new game capture. Capture specific window. Streaming avatars. Allow transparency. Now I'm going to capture specific window. Paranormasight. Go. Sick. Things are working. Can you guys speak?
Speak.
Speak. Okay, we're turning things up. I heard him barking. Thank you, Dad. Alright, now I have to open up the chat. Way to go, Dad. Way to go. Eric, do you think you could take a peek at my stream to see how the new sound volumes sound?
Okay, could you start streaming?
I am streaming.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you are. Alright. Talk.
We're checking, we're gonna be
Wait,
reading. Yeah, you might want to deafen Discord. We're gonna be reading, we're gonna be talking.
Your stream is using the wrong microphone.
Okay, thank you. Properties.
I don't see the screen.
Hang on, Mom.
Okay.
Stand by, Mother Unit.
We are, you know, LTE. Who knows how?
Okay, Eric, can you check again? Checking the microphone. Is it the correct microphone? We don't know. We don't know till Eric tells us. Check
Yeah, it's the right microphone, but it's quiet.
It's quiet. Okay. I don't know how to make it louder yet. Let me look. Settings.
I will say don't turn everything else down because the rest of the stream I think is a good volume.
Okay, the rest is a good volume except for the audio. Let me see if I can put a filter on it to make it louder, because it's up all the way. Like, it's literally as loud as I can get it. Bum, 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 bum. Is gain the thing that makes you louder?
Maybe.
Okay, check it? Can you check it? I put it to 13.
That's better.
That's better? How much better? Like, what's the...
Okay, hold on.
Should I turn it up or down? Yeah,
it sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay.
It's a little hard to hear the game, actually.
Okay, I can turn that up more. I'll just turn everything up.
You know what? What do you want to bet after it's all over with, they managed to bring someone back from the dead, and it'll just be the guy that got killed in the first part?
Yeah, what if Shogo's the only one who gets revived?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of expecting then.
I don't know, I kind of hope that if anybody gets revived, it's the cop that died. Hajime.
Not the son?
Nah. Nah, her son probably deserved it. No, I guess the sun was okay too.
Well, I mean, Yoko, we were in this movie theater, right?
Um,
Here's
Eric, I turned the game up. Can you check the volume levels one more
Yeah,
time?
I can hear the music.
Okay. Because if I turn the music up any louder for me, I won't be able to hear you guys.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. Now the last thing I'm gonna do is adjust one more thing. Name tags. Edit. 15, 16. Save. Connect. Okay, Mom. I'm gonna stream on Discord, but first, you said you wanted a little avatar thing. Can I? I
Well,
don't
we
know.
don't have to now. I mean, I'm moving today.
Oh, true. We'll do it tomorrow.
We're traveling. Yeah,
We'll do
we
it
don't
tomorrow.
want to
For
do anything
now.
right now. Oh yes, the stream is on.
Yep, I've started the Discord stream.
Yay!
Alright. Budai is not here yet, but we can start without him and then just catch him up on what happened.
Okay. Sure, he won't mind.
I'm sure he won't mind. Okay. Oh my goodness, I can scroll to zoom in and out. I had no idea. Cool.
We gotta do the cop next.
Yeah, so the last thing we left off on was Michael Jackson and Harume were checking out that one girl's house, Michio. They went to Michio's house and nobody was there. And then we went and investigated a whole bunch of other stuff and we couldn't find anybody. So then eventually they went back to the house and that's when we ran into the two detectives. So we're gonna resume here. Start from 9 a.m. at the Shiraishi household. Seems like Michio's house is at the end of this road. We don't want to intimidate them, so maybe I should go alone. Oh. What? Okay. I don't know if this is what we're supposed to do. Nothing's changed yet. Okay. There's no sign of life. Maybe if we leave and then come back again?
Maybe.
If we triggered the meeting on the other story. So there's gotta be a way. We don't know where Mio is. Sorry, I'm clicking through things because it's counting it as uncompleted right now, so I think if maybe we click through everything. No, they're still not here. Okay, I get the feeling we have to continue the other story and try to find these guys with the other girls. Maybe?
Okay. Well, then suspend it.
All right. Okay. Resume. Ba-ba-dum-bum.
I think start from locations.
Yeah, I think we should go back to the high school, maybe? Maybe we'll run into the cops here. Surely we're not stuck.
Budai shows up and goes, "You still haven't figured out how to get in? You didn't miss much.
Dude,
Because I want to figure out how to get going forward again."
Can we cook next on the Michael Jackson story?
no.
No. Well. Well, it's got to be one of the two stories we can access. What are you doing?
Typing in Budai. That we're stuck anyway. We don't know what to do. It's gotta be something. I mean, we haven't clicked all of the locations with Mia and the other girl. Yako and Mio. Oh wait, they're right there! Wait! They're right there! Okay. So we had to make them investigate. Okay, we figured it out.
Okay.
Huh? That's... Boss, what is it? You want to talk to those girls? I do. Yeah, I do. This is divine intervention. We were brought here for a reason. Come on, Ario. Huh? What? Hey, aren't you... You must be that high schooler skirting the child labor laws who have heard so much about. Say that again? Sorry about that. He's with me. Mr. Tsusumi, is that how you feel? Maybe you should look into improving my working conditions? I'd prefer not to work for free, to be honest. Don't you worry about that. If you help us out, you can have whatever you want. Boss's treat. Wait, really? Thank you so much. I've always wanted to go to a fancy sushi place. Oh, yeah. Like one of those places in Ginza? I've never been. Let's go. We've got ourselves a deal, right, boss? The girls are at our service. Hold on now. What just happened? I never said Sushi? Looking forward to it, boss. Wait, since when were you included? Ha ha ha, you guys are funny. You should do stand-up. Okay. Scene of the crime. What's that rope all about? It indicates where Jinochi's body was found. They've moved his body, but this way we still have an idea of how it was found. Yikes, that's a little gross. You can even see how his arms and legs are... Ugh. Cool it, Ario, you're scaring her. This kind of stuff is a little much for a kid. Hey, I'm pretty sure she only asked because you were staring at it so intently. Alright, that's enough. Mio, what do you think? I knew it the second I looked at the scene. You're right. Traces of a curse still linger here. I figured as much. Does that mean Jinochi was killed by one of the curses of the 7 mysteries? Yes, a strong curse like that always leaves behind a trace. Wow, Mio.
That's not Mio, Michio.
Yeah. Wow, Mio, you're so calm. Are you used to this kind of thing? I wouldn't say I'm used to it. It just comes with experience, I guess. No? I've heard some stories about you. Didn't you investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat? Stop it, Mr. Susumi. She's going to get the wrong idea. Whoa, you're amazing! Mio, you're a professional! You think? Totally! You're cool even in the face of death! That's awesome! When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is. So curse was used here, which means the curse bearer must have been on the scene too. Let's look at the surroundings. Forensics is still investigating the area. I didn't really want to bring these kids to a place like this, but there were too many onlookers outside for us to speak comfortably. Besides, it would be good to have Mio look around the scene, too. Scene of the crime. So a curse was used here, which means the curse bearer must have been on the scene, too. Okay, let's think. Sushi, huh? Well, if that'll solve the case, it's a small price to pay. I'll just expense it to paranormal affairs later.
Good plan.
Good plan. It's usually easier to let Aereo do the talking when it comes to young people, but we only have a day. It'll be quicker if I take the reins this time. But he did manage to win them over with the promise of food. Let's see how this plays out. Mio Kurizuzu. She's like a disciple of the Paranormal Affairs Chief. I've heard that she helps out with investigations free of charge under the guise of training. Although she's my old boss's protege, she helped me out plenty when I was in Paranormal Affairs. She may look meek, but she's got strong spirit sense, sharp instincts, and courage, plus quite the brain to back it all up. That said, I can't help but think there's some kind of darkness following her around. So this is Yako Sakazaki. She was with Mio. Could she be a friend? Did Mio finally make a friend? If she did, it would do this old man's heart good. But I better not say that out loud. Don't want to make her look bad. Let's talk to Aereo first. This is one hell of a coincidence, huh? That this random girl you know is already involved with the case. Let's talk to Mio first. So, how much have you been able to figure out? Well, I know what happened around midnight last night. Someone invoked the Feast of Shadows, which boosts the power of curses, then brought forth the 7 mysteries of Honjo. That allows even those who do not have the power to cast curses to gather soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. At least, that's my hypothesis. Sounds about right so far. As I'm sure you know, there are actually 9 mysteries, not 7. When the Feast of Shadows was cast, the curse stones appeared before those who wanted the rite at the locales of the 7 mysteries. We've managed to gather 3 curse stones so far, including the one I got first, the Evergreen Beach. You got 3 already? Wow. We have the curse stone of the Fool's Procession. Well, Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me, Yako, the girl standing behind Mio. She does? Is she alright? We could take it off your hands. Well, the Feast of Shadows has no effect during the day, and there's still something I want to find out. Alright, I'll leave the Fool's Procession with you two then. Thank you. Please keep collecting the other stones. I'll be looking for a way to stop the Feast of Shadows. Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. What about the other curse bearers? Have you run into any of them? Well, last night at the school... You were here last night? Yes. You see... Huh. You two were using a spirit board? That's so cool! So that's when you ran into the curse echo. I'm glad you survived the encounter. Somehow, we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. The curse echo we saw took the shape of a woman missing an arm and a leg. What?
What?
A woman missing an arm and a leg? That's...
What?
The one-sided read.
The one-sided
The
read!
one read.
This is bad.
Oh, that's good.
Huh? What's so bad about that one? You idiot, think! The curse bearer of the one-sided reed is... Fumichika Najima! He admitted it himself, that's his curse! Oh, that's right! Wait, if that's the case...
They're posing funny.
you can't see me behind my computer screen, but I'm literally acting out what they're doing. Najima might have been here last night! What? I mean, it's possible he was lying to us, but... What? Who's Najima? No clue. They don't know! They literally met a murderer last night! A mass murderer! Alright, so, Najima is trying to take advantage of the Feast of Shadows for his own nefarious purposes. Huh? He said he's going to massacre the city at sundown today? All right, Mom, what were you gonna say?
I'm reacting. That's all.
Oh, okay. Annie's trying to get to your daughter, too? That's why we've been trying to find him, but to no avail. Honestly, this information has been the most useful we've gotten so far.
Yeah, I like this information exchange. This is fun.
Yeah, this one's really good. So, just to be sure, could you tell me who else was at the school last night? Well, as far as we know, there was us, Mr. Janoichi, and one of our classmates, Hitomi. Don't forget, old man Ashimiya. Wait, Hitomi? You mean Hitomi Okada? Second-year student? Well, yes. Why? Boss. So she was here last night. Huh? I saw Hitomi earlier, though, and she didn't seem like a curse bearer to me. You did? Did you talk to her? Yes? Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that? Hitomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid she'd become a suspect. So I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this. Ah, I see. Don't worry. This is about a different matter. A different matter? You mean about that police officer, Mr. Yoshimi? You know about that? Did Hitomi say something about him? Yes, she did, actually. Well, let's continue the conversation. We were talking about her, so. Hitomi did say that Mr. Yoshimi entrusted her with something. He did? What was it? Yoshimi gave her a talisman? Yes. Apparently he also asked her to look for another one just like it. One that Michio had. What kind of talisman could they be? Boss? Doesn't ring a bell. But if Yoshimi was talking about him with his dying breath, they must have been pretty important. Did they find a talisman on Michio where her body was found? I'll check, but if they did, Yoshimi would have had plenty of time to retrieve it before he died. Right. Would you consider giving us Hitomi's contact information? I'd like to talk to her about this talisman. I'm not sure. She never opened up to anyone except Mr. Yoshimi. I'm no good, huh? I was friends with Yoshimi, though. You don't seem like the kind of, too bad of a guy. Not all that scary for a cop. But I doubt that'll be enough for her. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit wary of us. Well then. Do you think she'd talk to Yoshimi's fiancé? Haven't they met before? Oh, they have. She told us about that. Yes, she might be willing to talk to her. Alright, then we better find her fast. You haven't been able to reach her? That's a little worrying. Mayu Chozawa.
Mayu.
Mayu Chozawa. We'll let you know as soon as we manage to contact her. Okay, I'll be willing to give Hitomi's contact information to her. Oh, right, one more thing. Hitomi told me that Mr. Yoshimi gave her instructions in the event that something happened to him. He told her to give the talisman to Mr. Nakagoshi from the police headquarters. What? So it was a Nakagoshi case? Why would Yoshimi tell her that? Could you check on that? I will, but, well, I don't know if they'll pick up when I call. Is he with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau? Well, yes. Nakagoshi's the chief, but he's almost never in, so I don't really know the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he exists, or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken to him myself. All of Paranormal Affairs cases are referred
Can you
to...
pause for a sec?
Yeah?
Tsutsumi always looks like he's about to activate his laser eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Cyclops. That's funny.
Yeah.
All of the Paranormal Affairs cases are referred to as Nakagoshi cases. Geez, what's up with that? That amulet Hitomi was looking for may be the missing puzzle piece to this mystery. Alright. If we're talking about people who were at the school last night, there was one more person, though I'm not too clear on the details. There was someone else? Apparently, Hitomi actually saw Mr. Junoichi getting cursed and killed last night. What? Talk about some vital information. what she said happened was...
It was Michio.
Michio was the one who killed Mr. Jinochi? Are you sure it was really Michio that she saw? Well, that's what she told me. I wasn't there. That must mean there was another curse bearer here last night. Jinochi was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been there, whether it was Michio or not. Damn, boss. Do you think it really could have been Michio's ghost? I mean, based on what we've heard, she does have plenty of reasons to be vengeful. Calm down. Just because the paranormal exists doesn't mean just anything is possible. It's still possible that Najima was behind Jinochi's death. But what about Hitomi's story? Dun, 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 dun. And about this janitor, Ashimiya?
Yeah, you said it
Ashimiya?
before.
Was it? Yeah, but I forget, and then I mess it up. How old is he? Do you know how long he's worked here? Huh? Why are you so interested in him all of a sudden? I'm only transferred to this school, though, so I have no idea. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school about a half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, so there are all kinds of rumors about him. I see. Thanks. I think I'm starting to get a better picture of all this. Huh? Listen up. It's not too uncommon for former prisoners to find work under alias after their release. The notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation, you see. What are you... No way! Ario, have the officers apprehend the janitor. He worked the night shift, so he might still be in the overnight room. Yes, right away! Boss, bad news! Apparently the room's been empty all morning. Sounds like they'd been looking to question Ashimiya too, but couldn't find him anywhere. No. That all but confirms it. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of this Ashimiya? The old man seriously hated getting his picture taken. He always avoids it. Ario, call an urgent search for Makoto Ashimiya. We can't let him get away. Yes, sir! I'll contact HQ right away. Oh my, I didn't expect this at all. Yeah, how could that old man have been some horrible criminal mastermind? I can't believe it. And a curse bearer on top of that. To think he was so close to us this whole time. Ugh, it gives me chills. A guy like that really shouldn't have been allowed to work at a high school. Let's hope it isn't already too late. Oh! I may have shown Ashimiya my curse stone last night. What?
Well, that was smart.
I don't like this one bit. Najima did say he wasn't specifically targeting curse bearers, but... I'm glad nothing happened to you. Wait, but then... Could it have been old man Ashimiya who attacked you in the hallway? Ah! I almost told him that you were still in the building, too! What? You did? Yikes, good thing I didn't say anything. You might have gotten very lucky there, kid. Shit, yeah, that pretty much confirms it. Like, when we tell him that Mio is still in the building, he literally goes to murder her.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This is too much. I hope they find him soon. Come on, long arm of the law, help us. To put a stop to the Feast of Shadows, it would help if I knew more about how the curses of those 7 mysteries first came about. In that case, you're probably best off talking to that crabby researcher guy. You mean Mr. Araishi? I would very much like to talk to him. All right, he's a teacher here too, isn't he? You would know him already. He might be more inclined to talk if it's one of his students doing the asking. Do you know where he is? I do. We tried to talk to him, but he refused to cooperate. But you two should give it a try. He's at his usual cafe working on his papers. Cafe. Oh, Kurokiko Cafe in Kamizawa? Thanks. We'll head over there now. School rules say we're not allowed to go to cafes, though. Don't worry about that. I'll allow it. Thank you. Huh, is that all it takes? There must be a mastermind behind everything. Someone who orchestrated all of this for a reason. I want to find out why. Okay, so we've exhausted her dialogue. Let's talk to Yako. What was that thing you mentioned earlier about Michio earlier? Something about a grudge? Did you know anything about her? What's your relation? I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first. Ah, I see. We gained quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair we share as well. Tell her, Ario. Alright. Keep in mind that this is just a theory, though. Okay. After re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't a suicide, but a vehicular collision. Wait, what? An accident? Being hit by a speeding truck or van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, so it seems like he had his doubts about it being a suicide. Gah, what? A van? Speeding? Yako, what's wrong? Are you okay? Oh, bro! Oh, jeez! Oh, God!
Oh, how'd you die? What the
A
hell?
van! There's a young woman in the driver's seat!
No. There's a young man in the driver's seat, and the passenger seat, a woman.
There's a young man in the driver's seat. In the passenger seat, a woman? Yako! Pew! Huh?
So she
Yes.
is possessed by Mio
Wait, was I...
or Michio.
Are you in the back? Are you back now? How do you feel? You're covered in sweat. Yeah, I'm okay, I think. Sorry, I went a little crazy there. It's no problem, as long as you're okay. That was quite the surprise, though.
So I think Yako is possessed by Michio.
I think she is too. I think Yako accidentally killed the teacher after all. I think that her curse, maybe it says that it takes 30 seconds to actually kill somebody, but I think what probably it is when she uses it, maybe eventually that person will die.
Well, or she blacked out when it happened and Michio took over.
Yeah, that could have been it too, I guess. Yoshimi talked to you about Michio, didn't he? Well, he didn't give any specifics, if you're wondering about that. So I don't know what was truly on Michio's mind either. Right. Do you have any idea why Jinochi was so scared of Michio? Well, about that. I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but... I see. Well, I half expected it was something like that. Thank you for telling me. Bro, I forgot what it was.
He was blackmailing her into doing weird sex stuff.
Right. Thank you for telling me. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I wonder what he got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that. That's right, I forgot about that. Michio, what happened? Okay, her dialogue is not exhausted. Jinochi was almost definitely killed by a curse, but I wonder about the exact cause of death. If the curse's origin and the cause of death are connected, it could give us another lead.
How was he killed?
He was killed. His arms and his legs were crushed. Or twisted? Like twisted and crushed up?
What does it say in the log?
Cease body, unit done.
Okay, it doesn't say.
Doesn't say how he died in the
Well,
log.
can we look at the Fool's Procession?
Yeah.
Scroll down. Kills by fatal fall. I think that would fit.
Stood atop the festival tower. It was her time to shine. Blah, blah, blah. That sucks. Wow. What a story. So basically, the resentful memory. She was bullied a whole bunch because she was a teacher's pet, and so she was like, at some kind of festival, on the festival thing, she was like, I'm just gonna put my mask on and dance like crazy. And when she couldn't, when she was out of breath, she tried to take her mask off, but it was glued to her face. And so, yeah, that sucks. She fell off the tower because she couldn't get the mask off and she couldn't breathe. I'm seeing. Hey, boss, forensics is calling. I'll go see what they have to say. Sure, thanks. Boss, they found this on the ground a short distance away from the scene. What is it? What is that? A ribbon? Yeah, the kind you use to tie up your hair. What? I've seen that ribbon before. You have? Go on then. That's the ribbon that Michio always used to wear. What? Doesn't that mean that Michio was here? Are you sure? Definitely. I have the same one at home. We bought them together. That has to be hers. Then
Nope. It's
did she come?
Yako's.
Did she come back to life somehow? It's Yako's. But how? Dude, it's totally Yako. She must have tied, like Michio must have, because she went home and blacked out, right? And she says she doesn't remember how she got home. So she probably got possessed fully by Michio because they were friends and they had like a bigger shared connection. Because Mio said that curses that could possess people were because they had like a stronger bond or whatever, and stuff like that. So, and they were like best friends or whatever. So
Yeah, and she just said that she has her own copy.
yeah.
Yep, I think our theory is getting confirmed.
If I was Michio and I came back to life, where would I go? That's the question. She got her revenge on Jinochi, but she may have more revenge to dish out. Is there anyone else she'd have a grudge against? Well, what about the guy who killed her in the collision? If she really did come back to life, then it's terribly sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live. Okay. I'm afraid that's all we can tell you. Don't worry, you were a big help. Thank you. We should start our search for Najima and Mayu Chozawa. Might be worth it to check out Michio's house as well, just in case. Let's use the school as our base of operations. If anything happens, go to one of the officers hanging around here. Isn't it a little suspicious? Like, he's not looking at her when he's talking about that. He's looking literally at us. That's kind of creepy.
I think it's just the
Yeah, I think it's supposed to, it's just subtle enough that it makes you think it's supposed to be like the camera angle or whatever.
Well-
But the fact that he was looking at her, and then as soon as he said, let's use this as our base of operations, he looked at us.
well, to be fair, Ario's looking in some other direction. They're just looking in different direction. I think that's just how they drew the character models.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you and good luck. We'll go talk to Mr. Araishi about a way to lift this curse. All right, boss, let's get going whenever you're ready. All right, let's look for a bird before we leave. Bird. I see no birds.
$67.
Certainly well versed to the paranormal. I just can't get over that darkness. Think. We'll leave the curse lifting to the girls while we go looking for Najima and Chozawa. There's also the matter of Yoshimi's talisman, but we won't get anything done staying here. We better get a move on. Sick. Now we can go back to Michael Jackson. Son of a biscuit. Okay. Back to Michael Jackson. Oh shit, now we have new detective music. I have to think of voices for these guys.
Right, sounds kind of...
There's 3 dudes now. Dude voices are really hard. Ma'am,
Yeah, they're gonna
allow
be
me to
talking
introduce one of our country's most elite detectives. The name's June Ario. I'd hardly call myself elite, but either way, it's nice to meet you. This here is the brilliant Chief Inspector Susumi, and yes, he's just as rough and tumble as he looks. Sometimes I really don't know if you're complimenting or putting me down. So, you two are detectives. This is my client, Mrs. Haruo Shigima. Her father's a big deal in the police himself, so remember to mind your manners. A big wig named Shigima? Boss, you know this guy? Shit, I've heard the name, but you know I don't keep track of who's who in the upper echelons. There's no need to worry. I am my own person after all, and my father has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, did you hear that, boss? Looks like you're getting off easy this time. Don't make it sound like I'm involved in some shady business. It ain't like that. You both seem rather jovial, despite being detectives. How rare. All the police officers I've met have always been so dull. Well, you won't find any dull cops here. We'll round up all your criminals with a smile. That's our motto. How lovely. Keep it up. Just hold on a second. This is the first I'm hearing of that. Well, you're right about them not being your typical detectives. Surroundings. I thought we might cause trouble standing in the middle of the street talking like this, but so far we haven't drawn attention. Then again, that might just be because nobody wants to get involved with the case. Wait, this is supposed to be from Harue's point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, this seems weird. Okay. Look for birds. Looking for a bird. I don't see any birds. Unfortunately. Is there anything else in the surroundings we can click on?
Yeah.
Victor Kai. Seems they were acquainted, but also like they haven't talked in a long time. A young and energetic detective. He seems to have a strong sense of justice. If my son had the chance to grow older, perhaps he would have become an officer just like him. He seems like he's got a lot of experience working on the streets. Most of the officers I know are the bureaucratic desk jockey types. The contrast is rather striking. Let's talk to our friend first. I guess knowing how to deal with cops is also part of an investigator's job. Not quite. The two of us used to be comrades, after all. Comrades? That's right. Richter used to be part of the police force himself. He quit a few years ago to go solo. Is that so? You should give it a try, Ario. There's more freedom in working as a private investigator. I can't say much for the quality of life, though. It's been 2 years, right? I hadn't heard of you since you quit. I didn't think your business would last, but here you are. I'm sure you don't want to return to the force? You sure you don't want to return to the force? We'd take you back with open arms. What? To sit on my ass and watch the birds fly? I'll take a pass. I don't belong in that world. Come on, Richter. We need your talent. The public needs you. Nah, you don't. This is my calling. The police will manage just fine without me. I'll keep on tying up all your loose ends, saving the little birdies you abandoned. Damn. Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't believe you were actually part of the police force once. There's a story behind everything, ma'am. I don't regret my time on the force. I wouldn't have the connections I have today without it. Blech. What brings you here, Richter? You on a case? That's right. I'm picking up the police's slack. I trust you remember the kidnapping and murder case from last year? Oh, I remember that. I remember now. You're that Haruo Shigima from the kidnapping case. Did I miss something? Don't be an idiot. It was the case where Munasada Shigima's grandson was kidnapped, which must have been your son, ma'am. Indeed, the story was suppressed by the news, and in the end it was considered a huge failure on the police department's part. Most of the investigation was conducted in secret, and unfortunately the department is unwilling to reopen the case. An investigation carried out afterwards turned up nothing at all, which is why I'm now on the job. So they never caught the culprit, huh? That's rough. So, your findings brought you to this place then? That's right. An individual connected to the case used to live around here. Used to? That's right. As of last week, they're deceased. We'd hoped to talk to the family. No one was home when I checked last time, so we figured we'd try again. Interesting. Sure doesn't look good on the police to be mishandling cases like these. If there really was a culprit, it should be our responsibility to bring them to justice. Well, I do consider the police my people. So you consider the blame to be shared. You've got a stern side as well, I see. Sure doesn't look good on the... Oh, okay. Alright, we must have to do more dialogue. By the way, ma'am, this might be sudden, but there's something I'd like to confirm with you. And that is? Do you happen to know anything about the 7 mysteries of Hanjo? Sorry, Chief, but that's hardly... With all due respect, investigator, I think my question was addressed to the lady. If you insist. What do you say, ma'am? Can you tell us anything? I've heard of the 7 mysteries, but this talk of curses eludes me.
He didn't say curses.
Is that so? Well, I'm sorry for the intrusion.
Well, he knew that was a lie.
Yeah. Come to think of it, I heard some things about this area last night. Something about a strange yet conspicuous man dressed in white loitering around. Wait a second. I assume they were talking about you, investigator. Well, I won't argue that I'm strange and conspicuously dressed in white. And as it turns out, I was out here last night to conduct my investigation. Did you run into anything strange or out of the ordinary? Out of the ordinary, I guess I did observe a few suspicious characters. You were asking about curses just now. Why would a public servant be interested in the occult? Boss, Richter's a smart man. He can help us if we tell him what we know. I can't promise I'll be of any help to you, but I'm interested in hearing what you've got to say. Something is happening in Hanjo, isn't there? Must have been something big if they've got you head office guys out it. Well, I guess it's alright. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Thank you, boss. Listen closely to what we're about to say, Richter. So by using curses to commit murders, these people collect soul dregs to perform the rite of resurrection. And these curse stones are somehow connected to the 7 mysteries of Hanjo? It's a tough story to swallow, but I don't see a reason to doubt you either. We figured the strange occurrences happening around here recently are connected to these curses. To get the situation under control, we've been searching for the curse bearers to confiscate their curse stones. Do you have any information that might help us? That's tough. I never expected curses and other mumbo-jumbo to play into this all. But if we're talking shady characters, there was this middle-aged fellow I saw on South Warrigasui Street. He had an average build. He was anxious, like he was searching for prey. Boss, what do you think? Well, considering the location, it could have been Hideki Araishi. We already got his curse stone. Impressive. You two are working quick. Did you see anything else? Not that I can remember. That's a shame. Yeah. He's probably lying. If you see any characters who look like they might be carrying a curse stone, it'd be a huge help if you let us know. Absolutely. I'll let you know if I find anything. Richter, perhaps you could lend a hand on our case too? There's a number of people we can't track, and finding missing persons happens to be your specialty, no? I hate to disappoint you, but I'm busy enough with this case. The faith of my clients is what keeps me afloat. I have to prioritize requests by the order in which they come. I see. Well, can't say that's not fair. What do you need a private investigator for, anyway? The cops should have plenty of bright folks to throw at the job. True, but this isn't an ordinary case we're dealing with here. Huh? By the way, that reminds me, Richter. Yeah? You said the person who used to live here died last week. You wouldn't be referring to Michio Shiraishi by chance. You knew? I thought so. Seems like we're here for the same reason then. Seriously? Michio was involved with curses and magic? Strictly speaking, the curse part isn't our concern. We're looking into Yoshimi's case. Yoshimi? Alright, Hajime Yoshimi's. That's right, he died on the job. I'm sure you've heard of it. I heard. It was a most unfortunate loss. So there's a connection between Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division and Michio. Well, hold on. Let's focus on Michio for a second. You think she had something to do with the kidnapping? Talk about unforeseen developments. Exchanging information should prove mutually beneficial. I'll tell you what I know, but in turn, I want the full scoop on your findings concerning Michio. Sure, to tell you the truth... What? You believe Michio's ghost is the one who killed Mr. Jinochi? So he wasn't just mumbling nonsense? I mean, we haven't fully confirmed anything yet. But the testimonies we've heard and the evidence we found point in that direction. Testimony? You mean from those, psychic high schoolers? Didn't they also say there was a chance Michio hadn't killed herself? Wait, if that's all true, then... Did you figure something out? Can Kichiro Iwai? Huh? Can Kichiro Iwai? He'll be the next victim. We have to open the door to the Shiraishi's house. We need to look inside. Hey, what's gotten into you? Boss? I'm sure the landlord would give us the key if we asked. Screw that! How long... You know how long that could take? We can ask for permission later. Richter? Hey, Richter, calm down. We can't just... There he goes.
Yes, we can.
Take that, you shitty door. That's how you do it.
That's what I say every time I come home.
Richter, get a hold of yourself. I see you're still the same way as always. Everyone, come quick. Look at this.
The stepdad is
Oh,
dead.
God.
Oh, what is
Oh,
it?
Oh.
there's pictures of the killer on the wall.
Oh,
Whoa,
That's
what's up with this room? Boss, there's a dead body in there. Whoa, could that be Michio's dad? Nah, he's her stepdad at best, if that. It's gotta be the body of Kenkiro...
Pause.
What?
So, this guy, Kankichiro Iwai, is the stepfather of Michio, who was known to be abusive.
Yep, he was physically hitting them and screaming at them and...
Yep, and that's why
A drunk and all this
Michael
other-
Jackson was like, he's going to be the next victim if she's actually come back to kill people.
Yeah,
Because he was another person abusing her.
yeah. Okay.
But there are pictures of
Yeah.
the killer on the wall.
We'll look at it if we get the chance. It's faded out now. Nah, he's her stepdad at best, if that. It's gotta be the body of Kenkichiro Iwai. There's no doubt about it. This man's a goner. He's gotten real messed up. Looks like he's been like this for a while. I'd say it happened last night. Ario, did you find Jinochi's body in the same state? Now that you mention it, it looked as though Kohei Jinochi had died from a number of heavy blows. What are you suggesting, investigator? It was Michio Shiraishi. She's alive. She used her power, the curses, to get back at the men who ruined her life. That's ridiculous. You're suggesting she actually revived? It's gotta be that. If she's alive, then... Yeah, look at the... Oh, shit. There's like a bunch of pictures of him. My apologies for interrupting. I know we've just arrived at an interesting plot point. But do you really think a dead girl is going around taking revenge from beyond the grave? Consider this. What if Michio Shiraishi never died? But seeing as you've come this far, I'm sure you already know the truth, don't you? And so, I would have you answer me a question. Where in Honjo was Michio Shiraishi at the hour of 8 o'clock this morning? Shit. Where was Yako? Where was Yako at 8?
Can we look at the story chart? No. Okay.
Wait. We could probably go back in the stream to look at it. Hang on. Videos. Because I had zoomed in and out on it a whole bunch. 6, 7... Oh gosh, there's a big blank space. There's a big blank space. We don't know. So, because 9 a.m. is where they all met up at the school, right?
What are the options?
I don't know what the times actually are, but here I'll send you a screenshot of
No. What are the options that we can choose from here?
Like literally all of the locations on the map.
Okay. Why don't we just choose her house? See what he says.
That's what the timeline looks like, by the way. Her house is the candy shop, right?
It's the one on the top right, I think, isn't it?
Oh, you think that Michio was at her house?
Well, what's the candy shop? Whose house is that?
The candy shop is Yako's house. She lives above
click the candy shop. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of where Yako was at 8.
Well, she was probably at her house.
Okay. Hee. I see very well. Congratulations! You are correct. Yes! As expected, you got it in one go. Well, the cause of death was such, was it not? You must have noticed some time ago. Let's get back to the story then, shall we? I've taken
nice
up
of him
enough
to
of your
confirm
time.
it for us.
He's pretty much confirmed it, that Yako is possessed by Michio, and she has no idea. What? So you really think Michio Shiraishi is alive? Just think it through, and it all becomes obvious. It tracks, but... do you really think that girl could have managed all this? First of all, Ario, go report this to HQ. Understood. I'll get on it right away. No, there's no way. I'll start investigating this place. It sure isn't lacking in stuff that needs looking at. There's a bunch of photos of the same person plastered all over the wall over there. Huh? Whoa now, hold on. These photos. These are all of Fumichika Najima. Gross. Really? Come to think of it, he was in the papers a lot back in the day. Oh, there's even more pasted up over there. These are all cutouts from newspapers and magazines about the Najima murders. I don't get it. Why the weirdo shrine? Let's keep looking around.
Interesting.
Najima's
look
pictures.
around.
It's the same man in every picture. Is that Fumichika Najima? Wow. This is quite the spectacle. I don't think I've ever managed to erase this from my mind. Don't worry, Richter. You're quite the spectacle yourself. Do you mean to compare me with the likes of a bizarre criminal? These aren't just cutouts from publications. They even snapped a number of shots on their own. They must have admired him. Why else would they have collected so many pictures? Whatever the case, it's certain they were obsessed. Okay, let's look at the drawer. This drawer is really old. Chief Inspector, do you mind if I look inside? I mean, in normal cases, only police would be allowed to touch things, right? Right. Ario isn't here, so let me take a look at it. There's just clothes in here. Not much variety either. Can't say they were a big spender. Well, I was hoping to find some kind of talisman here. A kind of talisman here, but I guess we're not so lucky. I see. Thank you anyways. Window. With the window and storm shutter closed, no light gets in here at all. It's pitch black. The neighbors mentioned they started to keep the house shut like this not long ago. I meant to newspaper cutouts. Look at these! Pictures of Fumichika Najima cut out from newspapers and magazines. Whoever put these up was obsessed. I wonder what their intent was. You think the Shiraishis are somehow connected to Najima's case? Perhaps they did this as not to forget a grudge or something. It's crazy to think Najima might be involved in all this too. Hmm? Do you think he might have anything to do with the body here? Maybe. The man's already out on parole. He's a curse bearer with a curse stone now. He announced that from sundown today. He'll be going on a killing spree. Oh dear! There's an emergency search underway as we speak, but no one's managed to get a hold of the bastard. So he hasn't changed his ways. That doesn't bode well. To tell you the truth, the lady here isn't completely unconnected from the Najima murders either. You don't say? That's right. We talked about it last night. 20 years ago, I found the hands in Sumida River. That brought the incident to light. You don't say! You were the kid from back then? You really were brave. You were really brave. You did a good deed. Were you the detective I spoke with? I had no idea. So you two have met before. Fancy that. I've been worried that Fumichika Najima might bear resentment towards you, ma'am. You might be right. Unfortunately, that asshole is quite the resentful type. Oh dear. That asshole. I wonder who put the idea into his head. And now he's got the one-sided read, too. He's threatening to massacre the people of Honjo at sundown. Seriously? On top of that, he's been itching to get revenge on me as well. Of all things, the man's gone and threatened to kill my daughter. Damn, that's quite the threat. Certainly you can't afford to stay put here. The fucker wants to get us all antsy. When I finally get to arresting him, it'll be with a cool head. Not gonna give him the pleasure, huh? Well, if Iwai and Fumichika Najima have anything to do with each other, then this room might hold a clue to Najima's location. Let's hope so. The person who put all these photos up must have been obsessed with Najima. They might have had some relation to Najima's victims, or perhaps it was the opposite. The opposite? What if it wasn't loathing, but admiration? But then... The sliding door leads to the kitchen. Barely fits the frame. Jesus, okay. Floor, decorations, corpse.
There was old books as well.
Yeah, there's old books. Let's look at the old books first. There are old books scattered everywhere. I wonder what they're about. Many of them are written in foreign language. It'll be a pain to look through all of these. Let's save them for later and continue to look around. Bruh, really? Okay. Floor.
Well, it didn't do a check mark. So
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's the last thing you gotta click.
Yeah, that's probably the last thing. If it's off-putting to look at, but I can't help but wonder what in the world this is. They're magic runes. They're used in Western black magic rituals. Most of the time, they're useless imitations, though. I wouldn't get too excited about it. Oh my, who knew the Chief Inspector was such an expert on the occult? I just chanced upon that information. That girl with the spirit sense we mentioned, she's pretty informed on the subject. Someone was attempting to perform Western black magic in this place. Pretty absurd, if you ask me. Of course, the person in question was dead serious about it.
I get it.
Western black magic. While magic is often classed as a branch of mysticism, or may variously refer to the likes of witchcraft or astrology, here it refers specifically to Western black magic. In the Middle Ages, the line between science and magic was blurred, with the pursuit of the supernatural considered a legitimate academic discipline. Astrology was regarded akin to astronomy, while alchemy was accepted as scientific fact and would eventually evolve into what is known today as chemistry. One discipline, however, was considered wicked and shunned accordingly: black magic. The practice of using magical knowledge to strike a bargain with demons.
That's great.
In contrast to the socially acceptable subjects studied by the intelligentsia, black magic was most prolific. Intelligentsia? I didn't hear what you said, Mom. I'm sorry.
Yep, got it right.
Okay. Black magic was most
Got it
prolific.
Right, intelligentsia.
Okay. Among the lower classes. It was the common people who suffered most from the ills of the day war, famine, and sickness, which perhaps led them to seek aid from unholy powers. As hearsay, these rituals and spells were nowhere to be
Heresy.
found. As heresy, these rituals and spells were nowhere to be found in orthodox modes of teaching, but instead were recorded in tomes of dubious credibility. More. Looks like the things spread around here have been like this for a while now. This ritual, or whatever, was something he attempted up to recently. Plenty of the neighbors mentioned having heard strange mantra-like noises coming from here during the night. You think Iwai was the one chanting? Hard to say. Could have been one of the Shiraishis as well. If we look through these books in the back, we might learn whatever it is they were trying to do. Let's look at the corpse. There's nothing around to confirm his identity, but by the looks of him, I'd say he's Kenkichiro Iwai. You've seen him before? I heard he had a criminal record, so I assumed he wouldn't have held a respectable occupation. Is this what a curse does to a person? Ma'am, it'd be better not to look so closely. It's amazing. Wow, she's fucked up. She's got some issues.
Yeah, I'll say.
Cruel is what it is. Alright.
Do you look at the decorations?
Decorations. There are candles and stones with inscriptions placed all over. Are these tools for some ritual? Hey, don't touch anything, you hear? Ah, that's right. Considering this is a murder scene, we ought to leave everything as it is. All of this can be used as evidence. If anyone besides forensics toys with it, it'll cause trouble down the road. Alright, let's just make one more look around. We don't see any bird stickers, do we?
Nope, just murderer stickers.
Just murderer stickers. Yep. Yep, alright, book time. What do you say, Chief? Would you let me look through if I wore gloves? Well, it's not like I'm any help with foreign languages. Go ahead. Thank you. Huh. This seems to be a book on Western black magic. The same runes are written here, alongside detailed descriptions of the procedures. I suppose you'd call these grimoires? It's all a bunch of nonsense if you ask me, though. You think this Iwai guy was studying them? Perhaps to perform some kind of ritual? There are a bunch of handwritten notes beside the grimoires. Perhaps, whoever it was, they were serious about this. Iwai doesn't look the type to be into this stuff, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But why would he be studying black magic? According to the materials, this here rune is for the restoration of youth. Perhaps he was trying to become young again? This over here seems to be black magic related to resurrection. Each one of these spells requires a human sacrifice. Talk about dangerous. Resurrection? Like the rite? I guess no matter what part of the world, people will turn to the occult for similar reasons. What is it? This looks like a journal. It's probably Iwai's. A journal? His writing is surprisingly thorough. It's almost as if he was writing a report for someone. Oh, wow. Now this is something. What is it? What did he write? This is quite the find. Let me give you a summary. So, this is Kenkichiro Iwai fellow. He'd been searching for a spell to restore youth for years. So he was into black magic from the start? He believed if he could learn to successfully perform the spell, he could then use it to earn a fortune. To tell you the truth, it seems he was already getting funded after he acquired this grimoire. You don't say. This is starting to sound kind of familiar. But first, let's find out how he got his hands on this grimoire. It seems that Najima told him where he could obtain the book when they were both in prison. What? That's nearly too much of a coincidence. Likely not a coincidence. It seems like Iwai took an interest in the Najima murders after it made the news. He admired him rather passionately. You might even say he worshipped the man. Worship? Najima, of all people? This was a time when students were itching to rebel. Anyone who did something to shake the world was bound to gather admirers. Iwai had been collecting these photos ever since that time. And since he just so happened to land in prison at the same time as Najima, he made sure to get in contact. This is a lot. I mean, even having it all laid out like this. The thought of Najima being involved with these remors is staggering. I don't think we ever had anything pointing to that. What's the connection? To be honest, it's shocking to me too. For years we've been scratching our heads over the motives behind the Najima murders. Yup, it's been a mystery to us all from the very start. Whoa now, wait just 1 minute. Do you think... No way, are you saying... That's right. The murders might have been for a ritual. He was attempting to perform black magic. The instructions written down for the sacrificial offering match up exactly with the acts carried out by Najima. You gotta be kidding me. So that sadistic crap he was doing was all for black magic? That's what the evidence suggests. However, Najima tried to do some type of resurrection ritual, but Iwai had different motives. Chief Inspector, you might think this is all the stuff of fantasy, but that doesn't refute that Najima and Iwai were both acting in earnest. This is batshit insane. You're telling me that nutjob did all this for some hokey-pokey resurrection? Shit! Resurrection! That means there must have been someone Najima wanted to bring back to life. Damn it! That's it! That has to be it! Fucking hell! It all makes sense now! What? What is it? So, about the Majima murders. There's some information that's been kept from the public. Go on. When we broke into his house and arrested him, we also found a baby. A baby? It was a girl. Looked to be about 6 months old, but she was covered in filth. She looked so weak and sickly. We called the medics right away. If we were a second later, I'm sure the girl would have died. So, was Najima the father? He told us he'd found her under a bridge. He found her? She was abandoned? I've heard of parents threatening to leave their child under a bridge as a threat, but to think it really happens. Huh. I suppose there are those cases with the dead newborns found stuffed in coin lockers, so it's not without precedence. Whatever the case, we never found out the truth. But there's one rumor from back then that I could never get out of my mind. And it's starting to sound more likely now? Well, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard of it. Many believe Najima's guilty of more crimes than what got him convicted. Back then, a lot of girls went missing. Yeah, I remember all of that. Among the high school girls that might have been murdered, or maybe I should say sacrificed, was a girl who was pregnant. Goodness, that's horrific. He killed her and dismembered her body, and we thought maybe the baby we found is what he pulled out from inside of her. Don't misunderstand me. This is all speculation on top of more speculation here. That I, for one, never believed that man would just take in a baby he found under a bridge. I'm feeling sick. Stay strong, ma'am. I know this is hard to hear. Like I said, don't take that to be the full truth. We were running on speculation back then, now that this whole resurrection magic has come into play. We should consider the possibility it was his child, and that maybe he was trying to revive whoever the mother might have been. It's just a theory, but my life would be a tad easier if it were true. That's an interesting thought. Just anyone Najima would want to resurrect, a deceased wife is as good a guess as any. The fact that he obtained a curse stone suggests he has an interest in the rite of resurrection. Damn, you're right. And here I was thinking that he was only after the curse's power to massacre. Chief Inspector. Yeah? What happened to the child?
Probably. Yeah.
Without her
probably.
birth registration on file, the best we could do was find the girl some suitable foster parents. It was decided to keep the circumstances secret for the sake of the child's future. Well, I'm glad she was taken care of. What if it
Obviously,
ends
we're
up
gonna know
it's...
who it is.
Bro, what if it's his daughter? No,
That
no.
grew up
What if it's...
there doing those
Maybe it's Mio? It could be Mio. It could be
literally anybody.
It could be Mio, though, because Mio is related to all the culty shit, right? And then
that's true.
on top of that, if she was a super ultra secret baby that they wanted to keep hidden, it makes sense that they would just put her in the secret agency from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I could be literally anybody.
Don't mean to derail the conversation, but there's still more written in EY's journal. We know EY had managed to obtain the grimoire thanks to the advice he got from his idol, Najima, while in prison. After conducting research and gathering more information, he determined he had a chance to get rich quick. Right. He thought he could make some money if he could successfully use rejuvenation magic. Correct. Turns out someone gave him the idea. And get this. It was the one and only queen and chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps herself, Natsui Yamamori. Wait, what?
So the lady who is the boss of the company guy that we met earlier, the people who she's been mentioned on and off throughout the story, she gave him the idea to try to make
Yeah,
use
I bet if he figured out how to rejuvenate people back to being young, she'd be one of the top people who'd want it because she's all rich and powerful.
Yeah, and she's old.
Wait, the chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps? So, that's where this leads. Here, let me read what he wrote. The queen of Hihaku has a strange fear of growing old. Her fear of death is even worse. If she does die, she wishes to be revived, and she will spend whatever it takes to preserve her beauty. Magic, rituals, and rites, she'll use whatever means necessary. Her tenacity is unbelievable. She was apparently investigating money into research on resurrection, the restoration of youth, and the like. Huh. So she would even throw her money at the occult. The places greed will take you. Well then, that brings us to Hideki Araishi. She presumably funded his research into Rite of Resurrection as well. That's where it all points towards. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Hihaku pounced at the rumors of the Rite of Resurrection. It's starting to sound likely. It might also be why she's spreading the rumor about having godly powers. It's a convenient cover for if she becomes young again. Godly powers? What's that all about? You can ignore that. Either way, I think EY took the payments he was getting for his research to seduce a family into taking him in to keep a low profile. The Shiraishi family, Michio and her mother, Toshiko, were just his unlucky marks. And this is where you get involved. Are you feeling steady, ma'am? Huh? This has something to do with me? What are you talking about? Ma'am, please calm down. Iwai moved in with the Shiraishis to practice his magic. He needed a sacrifice. Oh my god! No!
Oh
No!
no!
Well,
No!
No!
Why her son was killed?
That meant extracting the life force from someone young.
oh, I get it.
Oh, that hormone.
So it was Iwai? This man? Iwai worshipped Najima, so he must have also despised Najima's
Yeah,
detractors. Not to mention he was captured and sent to jail once before. Surely he had a bone to pick with the police. Oh no!
That would explain
So
why
he
Michio's
used
involved in
he used
luring.
Michio to kidnap Shuichi so that he could sacrifice him. That's fucked up. Ah, Budai's missing so much. So when he realized he had the chance to both avenge Najima, embarrass the police, and acquire a living sacrifice at the same time? Fuck! You got it! Iwai kidnapped Haruo Shigemu's son and managed to score 3 birds with 1 stone. You're telling me that horrid man, he never had the intention of returning my child. I thought there might have been a reason why the kidnapper seemed to be mocking the police. He never wanted money. His aim was to humiliate the force. It all makes sense. He must have used Michio to lower your boy's defenses and then kidnapped him on his way back home. That man, he took Shuichi. Ma'am, please calm down. I understand, but you must remember to breathe. You don't understand. You absolutely have no idea what I'm going through. This isn't a joke. I wouldn't expect the police to understand. You'll never understand. Living sacrifices. What a stupid idea from a stupid little man. Okay, ma'am, let's just take a moment to breathe. Why don't we go get some fresh air? I can't believe this. This is, ugh. I feel really bad for her.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for her. She had nothing to do with any of this, and her son got murdered. Dude.
Yep, just because she's from a police family.
Yeah. Poor lady.
Okay, you know how I said earlier that I didn't care about her son and I would revive the other cop? I have changed my mind. I have changed my mind. I revoke that. Chief, I think it's best we take our leave. But before we go, there's one more important piece of information noted in his journal. Oh? Iwai got in contact with Najima last year, after Najima was released on parole. He provided him with accommodation and financial support. Is that so? He managed to find a hideout for Najima to stay in. Damn it. If anything, rather than use his money to support the Shiraishis, it seemed most went to Najima instead. If Najima's lurking around somewhere at the moment, it's probably in that hideout. Did he write where it was? Unfortunately, no. Not that I can tell. But it seems Michio knew where it was. She never met with Najima in person, but she was made to go in and clean up, among other things. What good is that information? The girl's already dead! Wait, no, she's alive! That's right, Michio Shiraishi's alive. If you can find her and get her to talk, you can get her to spill the beans on his hideout, too. But she's not alive. She's not alive. She's dead. Investigator, I'm asking you. I should get going. The lady's not well. Shit. Alright, well, he was updated to be dead.
Interesting.
Oh, we actually got information about him, though. Okay. Kenkichiro once made a living by placing advertisements in magazines to sell phony magic items and good luck charms. He held a nostalgic yearning for the post-war era, when things and people were simple, and has nothing but negative things to say about the rapidly developing, ostentatious world of late. So he sells phony magic items and good luck charms. Do you think his selling good luck charms might have something to do with the good luck talismans?
Maybe.
Radical in his belief that it would be better to tear down society and start over again, Kenkichiro was discontent with his life spent poking around in society's cesspools to make a few coins. When the Najima murders were widely reported in the media, it had a great impact on Kenkichiro, as he witnessed how a single act by a single man could cause a major rift in society. Perceiving Fumichika Najima as a great hero, he began collecting every piece of information he could find on the man. Kenkichiro was later arrested for his illegal business practices, and a chance meeting with Fumichika during his incarceration solidified his idolization. Idolization. I don't know why. He was captivated by Fumichika's talk of black magic, and, following his release, acquired the grimoire Fumichika had hidden away. As for Toshiko Shiraishi, Kenkichiro set his sights on her after encountering her at her part-time job. When he learned that the Shiraishi family was in financial trouble and could not afford to send Michio to college, he turned on the charm and took advantage of their weakness by offering them money. He revealed his true colors, however, after moving in with the family, and used violence and money to keep Toshiko and Michio under his thumb. All the while, his belief in black magic deepened, and he found a sponsor in the Hihaku Corporation. Kenkichiro forced the Shiraishi family to perform various rituals, with any attempts to resist being met with merciless beatings. The mother and daughter were helpless to resist. After Hihaku offered Kenkichiro great sums to intensify his work with black magic, he set his mind to sacrificing a child in order to perform a youth restoration spell. For this purpose, he chose Shuichi Shigema, the son of Haruo Shigema, against whom Fumichika held a grudge. He attempted to enlist Michio so as not to alarm the boy, but when she resisted, beat her mother 20 times. With Michio's assistance, Kenkichiro kidnapped Shuichi and locked him up in the Shiraishi house, and told the young and courageous boy that he'd kill Michio if he tried to run.
Tell him that we're finding a rest area to pull over at.
Okay. While his actions were motivated by a personal grudge against the police, it was first and foremost an attempt to create a societal uproar and breakdown in public order. So, Kenkichiro painted the crime as a regular kidnapping, demanding a ransom from the family. However, because of an embargo on the press, the kidnapping did not cause a public outcry akin to that of the Najima murders. Infuriated, Kenkichiro had Toshiko perform the sacrifice ritual by threatening to kill Michio if she refused. Oh, that sucks. Toshiko killed... We're just getting all this information because I guess it was in his journal. Toshiko killed Shuichi in his sleep, but the spell failed, for which Kenkichiro blamed her. Warning Michio to keep silent about the murder to avoid incriminating her mother, Kenkichiro dumped the boy's body in a nearby river. The tiny corpse was found a week later in the Sumida River after floating through several canals in Honjo. Having drifted for days in the polluted waters, little evidence remained. Although Kenkichiro performed no further sacrifices, his devotion to black magic only increased. Toshiko and Michio spent their days consumed by guilt, forced to continue serving Kenkichiro until the day they died.
Bummer.
Someone got our spot.
Someone got her spot. There's other people down there. It's not like we can't go down there where they are.
Right here on the edge. I'm looking for a place to level and all, babe.
Yeah. That's not level. I don't know what that is.
Okay, hang on. So, back when
It's all
Yako...
down here.
Just, I worry about somebody coming off of the pavement and
Ah,
maybe get behind the pole at least. Yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna continue. Keep my thoughts for now.
We're
Oh, we're back on the bridge. Are you feeling better now that we've gotten some fresh air, ma'am? I'm fine. Suddenly finding out who the kidnapper was really made me lose my wits. I managed to solve the kidnapping case by pure luck here. You're right, but Richter, I feel grateful towards Michio. Because she killed the kidnapper? There's that too. But it's for something else.
Want me to spot you?
If Michio is the one killing all these people, then she must have acquired quite a sizable amount by now. Soul dregs, I mean. Ah. Hey, Richter? Whether the kidnapper's dead or alive, it doesn't mean a thing. Revenge won't bring my boy back. And if Najima is planning to cause a massacre to collect soul dregs, then all the better. I won't give up on resurrection. This poor woman. So I'm counting on you. Alright. Let's go. That was a lot of information in one chapter thingy. Like one thing. So when Yako got possessed again by Michio, because Michio was hit by a car, right? By a truck or something. And she said something about there being a young man driving and a woman in the
Did
passenger
they say
seat.
young man or just man and woman?
I thought it said a young man.
Maybe it was the soap company people.
I'm thinking who could it be? Because I don't think it was her teacher. For a bit there, I thought maybe the teacher had accidentally killed her somehow, and that's why he kept saying, "I'm sorry, Michio, she's going to kill me." But I don't know. Please tell me that doesn't say what I think it says. I don't want to say that word. Semen?
Seaman?
Semen? Alright.
I don't know.
The rite of resurrection is the inception of this whole affair. Yako and Mio decide to confront the man responsible for spreading rumors of it in the first place, Hideki Araishi. They find him at his frequent stomping grounds, the Kurokiko Kikyo Cafe.
Before you start, maybe we could take a break.
Oh, but it's 7:30. I feel like we still have time.
Okay, I just wanted to bring it up.
No, we've only played for an hour and a half.
Okay.
Kurokikyo Cafe. 12 p.m. Bird sticker. You know, normally you'd be breaking school rules, but just by stepping foot in a cafe. I'll be in hot water if you lied about having permission from the police. Remember that. We know, it'll be okay. So, what do you want to ask me? Oh, we literally... bird sticker. Mockingbird. Sparring Sparrow Bros. Sparring Sparrow Bros. They have little horns on their butts. They're kind of cute. Okay. Inside. A cafe. I've never been to one before. How exciting. It's pretty smelly inside because of the cigarette smoke, but... I feel like a cafe is actually like a... Is this like a... Okay. Coffee shop on South Warigeshui Street, Kurokikyo Cafe's convenient location has made it a favorite of businessmen in the neighborhood. Oh shit, we got new information on this too. The Shigema Kidnapping Overview. A kidnapping and murder case that took place in Honjo, Sumida, around 1 year ago. Haruo Shigema's son, Shuichi, age 11, was kidnapped on his way home from school, with a ransom being demanded that same evening. Initially, the kidnapping was thought of as a simple extortion scheme. But when it came to light that the Shigema family was closely tied to the police, and Shuichi was in fact the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed that the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. The kidnapping was treated as a direct attack against the good name of the police, and a large-scale investigation was launched that used the best equipment available to trace phone calls. This made it all the more embarrassing when they were unable to catch the culprit, losing the public's confidence. The culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Haruo reached a breaking point. Spurred by concern for her son, she resolved to hand over the ransom money as fast as possible. But her husband and father, who held the prestige of the police in high regard, refused, saying that they would not let the criminal win by giving in to their demands. The increasing we've read this before. Never cleansed. Subsequent investigations revealed that the culprit was in fact Kenkichiro Iwai, an unemployed man. Toshiko Shiraishi, his common-law wife, and Michio Shiraishi, their daughter, acted as accomplices. Kenkichiro routinely used violence against both Toshiko and Michio to force them to do his bidding, and it is believed that he coerced them into becoming accessories to the crime. Kenkichiro wanted to use the boy as a living sacrifice for his magical studies, meaning that the ransom was never actually primary motive for the kidnapping. The reason for targeting the Shikama family's son was due to a personal grievance. Oh, poor girl. Blah, blah, blah. Inside. I don't see anything else inside. About my curse stone. Yako, if you wouldn't mind. Right, we wanted to ask you about this. Oh my, a curse stone. An okame mask. That must mean the Fool's Procession. You two were at the school last night? Damn, there of all places. Yako, you're one of them? You're a curse bearer? Please calm down, Mr. Araishi. Your reaction is too intense. It's kind of scaring me. Ahem, sorry about that. I'm afraid I got ahead of myself. What is it you wanted to know about your curse stone? What would be the best way to approach this? Flatter him, duh. It's just a brilliant teacher like you must know an awful lot about these curse stones. Well, it's true that I'm likely the person most well-versed in this matter. You're the only one who we can count on. Mr. Araishi, won't you help us, please? Oh, am I now? In this case, there's no harm hearing what you have to ask. Thank you. Let's see. Why is everything with the Rite of Resurrection and 7 Mysteries curse stones happening now? Oh, taken an interest now that you've received one of the curses, have you? You sound like a researcher, starting your questioning with your subject's origins. Mr. Raishi, you're not the one who triggered the curse, are you? No, I'm afraid I had nothing to do with it. Rather, I wasn't even attempting to do so in the first place. Completing the rite itself has nothing to do with my research. Then, do you know of the ancient Onmyodo ritual known as the Feast of Shadows? What is that? Something from the occult? Miss Karusuzu, you look like the type to be interested in those things, but it's outside my field of expertise. In that case, why do you think the rite and curses have appeared now? I believe this is the intentional work of someone. It's certainly not something that would happen by accident. Why is it you want to know? Well, he may not tell us anything if we say that we're trying to stop the curse. We need to make something up. Right. Make something up. Well, you see, we just have such intellectual curiosity, and, think it could really help your research. I see. Now that you mention it. Seems like he's reluctant to answer. Then how about... I don't know which one we should pick.
I think you should ask about his research.
Yeah. Then, what does the Record of Fates that you've been researching say about the Rite of Resurrection? Oh, I see. That's what you want to know. Allow me to first elucidate you regarding the author. Elucidate you regarding the author of the Record of Fates. A special privilege, I might add, since I have yet to publish this in a paper. Yeah, okay. The Record of Fates was written 200 years ago in the latter half of the Edo period. It was written by a skilled but little-known onmyoji called Seimen Tsuchimikado. This is important stuff. If nothing else, remember this. Seimen Tsuchimikado. I've never heard of him. I'm sure you haven't. He was born into a famed onmyoji family, but split away to practice forbidden arts in secret. He used whatever name was most convenient for the situation, so his real name barely exists in records. Or so it is written in the Record of Fates. As brilliant as Seimen was, he was also an eccentric. He delved into researching the Rite of Resurrection, a legendary forbidden ritual that had never been completed. However, by involving himself with this forbidden ritual, he was expelled from his family, and eventually found himself in Honjo of Edo. The Record of Fates are the writings of Seimen, the writings Seimen recorded on the road to Edo. I see. So he wrote how to perform the rite itself? The Rite of Resurrection makes use of Abe no Seimen's specialty. The Taizan Fukun ritual, a means of communicating with the afterlife. It uses soul dregs to replicate the soul of a dead spirit that has been called. Oh wow, I never knew something like that existed. Thus, it is thought the only ones who can use it are those with the ability to turn human souls into soul dregs in the first place. So, the rite of resurrection calls for that ritual to be performed in advance. Then, when the soul dregs are gathered and infused with the wish of whoever is performing the ritual, it can be completed. The contents written in the Record of Fates end there. There's no more? What about the 7 mysteries or the curse stones? There's nothing written about them in the Record of Fates. The curse stones are separate from the rite of resurrection. Their curse is one used to enable one who is unable to perform such rituals to be able to use the rite. Huh, that sounds similar to what Mio said, actually. Abe no Seime. Converts the souls of the dead, blah blah blah. How are the 7 mysteries related to the rite? Excuse me, Mr. Uraishi. What is it, Miss Kurosuzu? You published a theory before the incident took place. It said that the rite of resurrection and the origin of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo are related somehow. What proof do you have of that? You really know your stuff about that. That was a somewhat sensationalized piece written for occult magazines. Oh, really? It was just nonsense then? Not exactly. Rather, it's not a complete fabrication. There is a basis for it. And that is... well, I suppose there's no harm telling a couple of students so passionate about this topic. Thank you. This is something I discovered when referencing numerous texts unrelated to the Record of Fates. It was just after Seimin arrived in Hanjo. There are records of a conflict over a ritual used to resurrect the dead in Hanjo. A conflict over resurrecting the dead? I don't know the details. A man enticed the public with claims of a spell that could resurrect the dead, causing a conflict that ended tragically with 9 dead. That is the only remaining reference. 9 people fighting over a resurrection ritual. I call this tragedy the Hanjo incident, and it has long been a subject of my research, and I suspect that this Hanjo incident might be the very origin of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. So what you're saying is, the resurrection ritual at the roof of the Hanjo incident is Seimin's rite of resurrection? Yes, that is how the Records of Fate ties everything together. To put it in chronological order, first, Seimin brought the rite of resurrection to Edo. We can assume that by this point, Seimin was likely using a different name. Then, in Hanjo, 9 people fought to the death over this rite, the Hanjo incident. After that, the incident was covered up by an interested party, preventing it from being recorded in history fully. Eventually, it was passed down in incomplete pieces, becoming known as the 7 Mysteries of Hanjo. That's more or less the course of events. Okay, that's...
That was a lot.
So that's how they're connected. Then, if I'm getting this right, the 7 mysteries were basically required to gather the soul dregs necessary for the rite. Hehehe, there's more. With this most recent occurrence of the curse, I've become even more confident in my theory. You are? Yes, the reason for it being the resentful memories of the 7 mysteries etched into those who received the curse stones. Resentful memories? Yako, if you really are a curse bearer, then when you obtained your curse stone, you would have had a resentful memory imprinted in your mind. Oh, I did! Exactly. Those memories are what happened in the final moments of the 9 who died in the Hanjo incident. Broadly speaking, they involved dying while bearing some kind of deep resentment. The 9 victims became the 9 curse echoes, which over time came to be spoken of as the 7 mysteries. thus gathering the resentful memories granted by the present curses and connecting them together. It will reveal once and for all what happened during the Hanzhou incident. Huh? That's why you must tell me about the resentful memory of your fool's possession, Yaku. Mio, should I? Yeah, I think it's the only way. We need all the information
no, I think
we
it's
can
okay.
get. I think it's okay. We need all the... Tell him about the resentful memory. Okay, Mr. Araishi. I'll tell you about the memory of the fool's possession. Excellent. Bloop. So basically, it's about a woman who died falling from a Yagura tower at a festival. Interesting. It's not that one then. Not that one? What do you mean? Among the 9 victims of the Honcho incident, that is to say, the 9 curse echoes. One of them is Seimin himself, or so I suspect. Huh? Seimin was one of the victims at the Honjo incident too? Meaning, an Onmyoji as powerful as him also became a curse echo? Right. It would make sense that the curse stone tied to a curse echo like that would be special. The power of a curse stone is different based on the curse echo? Meow, meow, meow. Then maybe with Seimin's curse echo we could... Yes, we may be able to settle this whole situation. Hey, what are you two whispering about? Oh, nothing, sorry. About the resentful memories. Mr. Araishi, how many of the resentful memories have you gathered so far? I have learned a number of them. The evergreen beach, the foot-washing machine, the ever-burning lantern, and now the
foot
fool.
washing machine.
The foot-washing mansion. Fuck, whatever. Stop making fun of me. Now the fool's mansion makes 4. I'm trying really hard here. I'm trying very hard. It's very difficult. Of course, the most important are the foot-washing mansion and the evergreen beach. What are they about? First, the foot-washing mansion. An Onmyoji appears distinctly in this one. Really? But not Seimin, I'm afraid. A female Onmyoji who sought the right of resurrection due to her obsession with her personal appearance. Her legs, which she had always taken pride in, were stricken with corruption after she was defeated by Seimin. Her curse echo is notable for being particularly easy to fulfill the requirements necessary to use the curse. That detective did well to escape this one. So, a female Onmyoji and rival of Seimin was involved in the Hanzhou incident. That certainly is interesting. Next, the Evergreen Beach. This curse echo is from a craftsman of Netsuke carvings named Genkichi, who was hanged for spreading baseless rumors. He apparently spoke of something that granted the ability to bring back the dead. The right of resurrection. Precisely. This man, Jinkichi, must have been in contact with Seimin. If I could just collect all of the memories. Everything will be revealed, and the truth of the 7 mysteries will be mine.
Mine!
That is the knowledge I desire. Meaning you need to gather as much information as you can from the curse bearers. Precisely. I have an agreement to exchange information with those detectives. But they might not even find the other curse bearers, so I must take measures of my own. Another thing. Yes? You never really finished about what the trigger for all of this was. Well, I don't know. Really?
Right.
You're
Sure
not
he doesn't.
hiding something from us, are you?
Yes, he is.
It has something to do with how you obtained the Record of Fates, right? How did you really get a hold of the Record of Fates? To tell you the truth, we're in a race against time. It could be a disaster if we don't hurry. What are you talking about? Someone left a warning that at sundown today they would use the curse to kill a lot of people. The one who left that message is the culprit behind the Najima murders from 20 years ago. What? Something so terrible will happen? I won't allow potentially hundreds of people to become victims of a curse. I'll do anything in my power to stop it. Mr. Araishi, please, tell us everything you know. I'm sorry, but I truly don't know anything. The truth is, I was given the Record of Fates by a woman. A woman? Well, her voice sounded like a woman's, but I didn't actually see what she looked like. 1 month ago, while I was investigating at night, I suddenly heard a formless voice. A woman's voice? It said,
Of course.
I entrust you with this
Random
ancient
voices.
manuscript and the right of resurrection held within its pages. Spread rumors of this ritual as far and wide as you can in the coming month. And before I knew it, an old document had fallen down at my feet. 1 month. 1 month? She specified the time period? I was told if I did that, I could study the manuscript as much as I pleased. I wanted so badly to verify its authenticity, I ended up accepting. I haven't heard anything from the voice since then. It must have been you spreading... It must have had you spread rumors in order... to strengthen the power of the curse. To tie together the curse and the desire to seek out the right. This makes it likely that the owner of the voice is the mastermind behind all of this. Hence why I went public with the record of fates. Hihaku and occult magazines immediately jumping at the news was a financial boon for me. Huh? Hihaku? As in Hihaku soaps? Right. I mean, no, that's not important. Just some personal business. After that, I waited, trying to predict what would occur in a month's time. That's when the curse began. Those are all the details I have. Is there anything else you know? Very well. I've told you this much. I may as well give you one more thing. Thank you. What might that be? About Saemon's record of fates. There's a sort of continuation to it. Another document called Record of Fates Yin Scroll. Continuation? Actually, a section written in Saemon's own hand was appended to the manuscript, according to which, after the Honjo incident, Saemon lamented such a calamity taking place. He apparently...
Lamented.
Saemon lamented such a calamity taking place. He apparently wrote the addendum for the event that the tragedy became its own curse.
We can't help it. We're English teachers.
It seems he had an idea that the victims of the Honjo incident would turn into curse echoes and be used to gather soul dregs. It supposedly details how to handle any trouble that occurs as a result of the rite of resurrection. Really? Hold on a second. Don't you find that strange? What's the matter, Miss Sakazaki? You think my information inaccurate? If Saemon died in the Honjo incident, then he couldn't have written an addendum. You really don't get it, do you? Huh? Am I wrong? Have you forgotten the ability Saemon possessed? Of course not. He could use the rite of Oh! You're telling me Saemon used it on himself? The rite of resurrection can be carried out in advance so that it activates when the soul dregs are gathered together. Then is it not possible that Saemon himself was resurrected by the rite after it all took place? But he had to collect the soul dregs needed to use the rite. Yes, and that's why they died, the 8 others besides Saemon. What? They died in the Honjo incident for their soul dregs? That sounds like it's the same as what's happening now. That's why I need the resentful memories, to learn the truth. I get it now. The issue at hand is that the Yin Scroll and the Record of Fates were supposed to have been passed down as a set. When I received the Record of Fates, the Yin Scroll was gone. Only this information was left. Supposedly, Saemon's blood descendants guarded it as they passed it down across generations. It seems that over their long history, the 2 documents became separated, and the scroll's location lost as the family line branched.
Interesting.
Saemon had descendants. So there's someone out there related to him by blood even now? Yes, in fact, I've tried to trace the line as far as I could. He wasn't a well-known Omyoji to begin with, so a detailed family tree does not exist. It seems likely that the use of the manuscripts has been long forgotten, only passed down out of tradition. And since they aren't even aware of what they have, tracking it down is quite tricky indeed. I wish I could ask whoever that voice belonged to about the Yin Scroll. I'm sure you do. So basically, in the Record of Fates Yin Scroll, Saemon himself wrote about ways to handle the curse and the rite, yes? Yes, that's right. I've been searching for it all this time, but haven't found a single lead. So if you two find out anything about other resentful memories, or Yen Scroll, tell me immediately. You owe me that much for telling you all this, do you not? That's the real extent of everything I know. Well, shit. Eric, is that the same name as the other, the guy that the, the, the guy from the very, very, very beginning talked about? Or is this a new name?
The guy he was like, oh, I work for this wizard.
Yeah, is this the
No,
wizard?
that was a different name.
It was a different name. Okay, so this is a new name. This is weird. Oh, my brain, my brain. I'm glad we did this one at least. Yes, I understand. Thank you for your help. If you bring me some useful information, I'll take it into consideration for your school grades as well. Alright. Yako, Sakazaki, 1 p.m. Street. We've learned a lot. So, to sum it up, there was a tragic incident with people cursing each other for the rite of resurrection in the Edo period as well. And the Record of Fates Yen Scroll may have info we want, since it details how to stop the rite. I think that's about it. Right. If we could just find the Yen Scroll, we might be able to learn how to settle this situation. But even Mr. Araishi didn't have any leads on where it is. How do we start looking for it? Someone involved in this now must have some connection to it, I think. I have a feeling the mastermind who awakened the curse is involved too. Right. About what to do next. So, Mio, what are we going to do next? Good question. It may be best to give the information we just learned to Inspector Tsusumi. We got a pretty big clue from hearing about the Record of Fate's Yen Scroll. Mr. Tsusumi might know more about it. Shall we go back to the school then? Yeah, that's our point of contact after all. Whoever's behind that voice that gave Mr. Araishi the Record of Fates, that must be the mastermind, don't you think? Yeah, and he said it sounded like it belonged to a woman. Whoever it is, I bet they're scary. Huh? You don't sound like the Yako I know. Then let's catch him and make him spill the beans. I thought you'd say something like that. Really? I guess I'm just not really feeling that confident right now. I understand. Excuse me. I don't know if it's related to that woman behind the voice, but I'm also interested in the female on Myoji who was a rival of Seimin. I mean, the female on Myoji does sound very similar to the queen of the Hahaku soaps. Because the queen of the Hahaku soaps wants to stay beautiful, and the
Yes,
Anjiomi...
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, the Onmyoji was, like, obsessed with her beauty.
Yes, exactly.
So maybe she's a descendant or something?
Or maybe
Or
she's
maybe
literally...
possessing her.
Maybe she's literally her, and...
Yeah,
Somebody.
we are missing a few of the curse stones still. There's still at least 2 that we don't know who has them. I think it's one of the... Here, we can just look. We can look in our list. Files, curses...
It's under gameplay guide.
Gameplay guide. So, we're missing the Whispering Canal, the Beckoning Light, and the Teiko Sugaru, right? So...
I'm pretty sure the Whispering Canal is either with, Yoko from the start of the game, or with the soap company guy.
Yeah, what was his name? His name is, oh, wow.
It's not. Scroll down. I'll know it when I see it. Scroll down. It's Takumi Yumioka.
Yeah, Takumi.
So either him or Yoko, I'm pretty sure, have the Whispering Canal. Then again, there was probably a third person watching, considering the floating thing.
Yeah, there was another person definitely watching, who probably has the beckoning light. So we know
So I
for
bet-
sure. Wait a minute. I don't think she could. I don't. You know what? I've changed my mind. I don't think she could be possessed, because the. Which one's the one with the legs? It was
It's the foot washing mansion. That was the guy. That was the liar kid who was like, "Team up with me." Oh, you don't want to team up with me? Die.
Yeah. But the guy just said that the female Onmyoji that was the rival, was so obsessed. See, her own
Wait a
selfish
sec. Look
pursuit
at
of
that
beauty.
quote.
Will I die? I've already obtained what I needed as long as I have this.
That's sus. I think that's important.
Oh,
I
that might.
think-
Yeah. Maybe she resurrected herself also.
Yeah.
Okay. That is really sus. I was gonna say, I don't think she's possessed, because the person who had... Because they gotta be possessed when they have the stone, right? Or whatever. And she couldn't possibly have the stone because Yutaro had the stone and the detectives took it from him. And so now Susumi has it.
I'm convinced that the soap woman is literally the Onmyoji from the past.
Yeah, she must have. Like, I kind of wondered when I first read this, it said I've already obtained what I needed, as long as I have this. I'm like, what is she talking about? What does that mean?
Yeah, and it just moves on and doesn't talk about whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that reminds me, Mio.
Sure.
You know what's nearby here, don't you? Oh, you mean where Michio... Yeah,
Okay.
where it happened. I was going there every day to leave flowers, even though they always get cleared away anyways. I'm sure it must be hard to have to be reminded of Michio's death all the time. Oh, that reminds me, Yako? Yeah? When you asked me to do the spirit board 2 days ago, did you come here that day too? Yeah, I left some flowers before going to school. Why? Did anything seem different that day? What's this all of a sudden? Though, now that you mention it, that day, I suddenly felt lightheaded and ended up passing out for a little bit. But I came right away and felt fine, so I didn't think anything of it. I see. That's all I was wondering about. Thanks. Excuse me, you girls over there. Oh, shit. Whoa. Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but something you said caught my attention. And who might you be? I'm Yutaro Namigaki. I should probably tell you. Until yesterday, I was a curse bearer. That should clear things up. A curse bearer? Oh, you don't need to be scared. I've already given up on the curse stone of the foot washing mansion. The foot washing mansion? So you're the one Inspector Susumi was talking about?
Every time I see it, I think washing machine.
It's freaking washing machine in my brain. I cannot help it.
Yeah, me too.
Ah, you already know Inspector Susumi. That makes this simple. There's nothing to worry about.
This guy's full of shit. Everything he said was a lie.
Hey! You're in the driver's seat! Yako? Yes. Wait, what? Just now, was I doing something?
Well, he
sorry.
killed
Mr. Namigaki,
Michio.
what might be the matter? Right. I actually wanted to discuss something with you two. Would you come with me if you have a little time? Discuss something with us? You were talking about Michio Shiraishi, right? It's related to that. Huh? I'm sure you would learn a few things yourselves. If not now, later is fine. I'll be waiting around Ryogoku Bridge. Something must be the
hanging
wrong
around
way
the
about
bridge.
this, but he mentioned Michio. What should we do?
This guy. She said that. So this guy killed Michio.
Him and the girl in the passenger seat must have.
Yeah, so he was driving the vehicle that hit Michio.
So maybe he wants to use his stone to revive her to make up for his mistake, whereas his selfish girlfriend wants to steal the souls to revive the artist because she's a whack job selfish bitch.
No, I don't think he wants to use the stone for anything good. I think this guy's evil.
Alright, I'm gonna choose to go to the school first. Sorry, but there's something we gotta take care of. We'll have to pass. Is that so? Well,
Oh,
that's
boy.
too bad. I'm in no rush, so I'll be waiting at Ryogoku Bridge if you change your minds.
Do you really think he did the stone up?
Dude, he's gonna try to take it from us or something. I think we should just...
I don't think he gave the stone up.
He is
He's
evil.
luring them there.
He is evil as fuck. Yeah, he's
Like-
clearly
like-
luring them
So
there.
when the detectives were talking to everybody, he was the one guy where literally everything he said was a lie.
Literally every single thing he said. And no, Mom, we did actually take his stone. He has no stone currently. Although
we
that
took his
doesn't... We did. But as the detectives in the detective story, because Detective Susumi has the ability to tell if somebody's lying with his curse stone, we were able to tell that the kid was literally lying about everything he said.
Like every single sentence it said, do you want to kill him? Do you want to kill him? Every single time.
Yep,
Oh.
yep, he literally just lied the entire time. So, using Susumi's curse as like a threat, he was able to force Yutaro to give him the soul. The thing. The curse stone.
Okay.
So, and that's when Yutaro's girlfriend, who is insisting that they're just friends, but clearly she's using him for money, she eventually approached Michael Jackson and Haraway and basically said, yeah, my boyfriend's an idiot and he lost his stone, and I don't have one myself, and I'm planning on trying to find people who have stones. Have you seen anybody who's got one? Because I want to try to steal it when it's full so I can revive this famous artist that I'm in love with. Essentially, is basically what she said.
Right. Okay.
I'm kind of curious if the story continues if we decide to go talk to him.
Well, we should take a break.
Yeah, I think tonight's break time.
Yep.
I think it's a good time for a break.
Well, thanks for having me. It was very fun. It's nice to have people listen to on the drive.
Yep. And if you missed anything, I'll just upload it to YouTube, so...
I didn't miss anything tonight, actually.
Oh,
We
good.
had connection the whole way. I was surprised at how well it worked.
I am so curious. I'm so curious.
Seems like we're getting down to the nitty gritty, though.
Yeah. Nitty gritty.
Yeah,
Down
things
to...
are becoming more and more obvious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had a lot of... Budai's gonna be so upset that he missed all of that. There was so much.
Tell him.
There was so
Tell him.
much.
Stream. You just had to tell him, watch the stream before we do this.
Bro, there was so much. Like, the reveal of the... You know what? It actually did shock me that that guy, Iwai, was the one who kidnapped and murdered her son. That actually got me. Like, all these other things we've kind of, like, managed to piece together and kind of figure it out as we go along. Like, oh, we suspect this, or we suspect that. But
Right.
this guy, being a criminal that worshipped Najima and then basically...
Yeah. Well, we didn't have the motive until right then.
Yeah, we didn't
He
have...
had the means.
Yeah, there
but
was... I didn't make that connection that Michio was... You know, because I really, really, really didn't believe that Michio was the one that was seen kidnapping
No,
the kid.
I believed that. Otherwise, the blackmail wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. I was like, there's no way she would have done that. But yeah, damn.
Right.
All right, well, I guess we'll find out more tomorrow.
Okay. Well, good night for now.
Yep. Good night for now.
Good night.